Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 3 of the Ask Two Dude show with Milo,
Dude 1,
and Chris. And we're here with our special guest, Mr. Romby Bryant. And I'm going to kind of geek out for a second. This is his business card. And in case you didn't know, he used to play pro football. He's with, I'm going to get you to sign that actually.
Wait, why is there not two? Why am I not getting
this is my geek moment. He used to play with Atlanta, and then he used to play with, before that, you were with the Ravens.
No, I
or
was
the
with
other way,
Ravens.
vice
Yeah,
way.
vice
Okay,
versa.
cool. And you play with Ray Lewis, which is one of my favorite football players. So that's awesome. I always bug you about that, like every time I see you. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting kind of tired of it, Chris.
Yeah. Well, the good news for you is I just met you, and I just like you because you're you.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go, look.
I'm a likable guy.
There you
Yes. Very good guy. So you're with Farmers.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we had a roofing guy. Before that, we had a plumber. So we're kind of like making our way through the whole home buying process. Let's talk about Farmers, and let's talk about insurance and a little bit about yourself. I know, as realtors, we have a lot of different people that we use, and we have loan officers that we use, and I like using you just because we talk about different stuff, but you're a friend of mine. What really differentiates yourself with Farmers? Like, what can you do to really help people out? Do you have like a niche product, or do you have special discounts on like roofing, like we talked about, or different stuff? Like,
Yeah, we have, with Farmers, you can actually, what a lot of other insurance companies don't have, that Farmers have, is slab coverage, slab access coverage. So if a pipe bursts underneath the slab, and the city or whatever, when they repair the pipes, we'll repair the slab. We get the slab repaired. A lot of other insurance companies don't have that. And we have a new product that came out. It's kind of like an a la carte. Like,
okay.
You get to choose your coverage. So you can up your coverage on personal property, or you can lower it. You can choose. You can up your loss of use. You can up and lower a lot of things, and you can add things on, like as far as limited matching coverage for something that might have went out of style for older homes, like homes built in the 40s.
So Farmers is, I don't mean to cut you off, it just sounds like, for everybody else out there, to tie it in, Farmers is becoming more flexible in allowing different demographics to get what they need and what they can afford.
Exactly.
And not being less short.
Yeah, less short, because before our old product, it was just basically the Cadillac. It was either you had good coverage, or you just didn't use us. And then now we kind of have auto park this because Farmers didn't really have a niche for older homes,
right,
or a product for older homes.
Well, at some point you have to grow your business.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good thing for me. I came in right at the right time.
There you go. Look, and you're Romby.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
and yeah, the difference is I played in NFL.
You pull up with the helmet, you get in your car.
how cool is that? All right, now I'll stop geeking.
It's not that cool because you didn't give me one.
Oh.
Look at that, the first autograph one. That's why I'm Dude 1.
Let's go into a little bit of that
Thanks,
slab
Robbie.
stuff.
Thanks, Chris.
So you have discounts on that. Do you have like discounts on, like last time we had a roofer on here? Do you have discounts basically on like the shingles that they put on, or how stuff is set up? Okay, so
so we have discounts on roofs. If your roof is 7 years and younger, you get a discount for that. And the discount is better, obviously, the younger the roof is.
Right.
And then they have shingles out there that's hail resistance, and then you get a huge discount for that. And they go by classes, I think, and it's like class 4 is the best you can have, and it's like a 50-year shingle or whatever.
Wow.
Good. And they give you and you get a huge discount on that. Other little discounts you get is if you have a fire system or a burglar system of some sort, you get that's a discount. Or if you had your whole home like electricity, all the wiring redone, you get a discount for that. But
multi-card, multi-policy discounts.
Oh yeah, then that's the obvious. Yeah, if you get if you have home and auto together, you get a discount. Home, auto, life, you get a bigger discount. And then if you have home, auto, life, and umbrella with businesses, you get more of a discount.
And that's important to know because you said obviously, but what's funny is, as a realtor, Chris knows, and for me on the mortgage side, I know people don't want to switch. We'll hand somebody over to you and say, hey, make sure you let them know about your car coverage, not just house. Oh, I'm happy there. No, you need to save money.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people be thinking they want to stay with the Geicos or the Progressives, and they don't look at the overall package as well. If you have your home and auto, you can save an extra $500 to $600 by bringing that your auto over here. So let's look at the overall package and see how much money you saving there. And I don't sell on money. I sell on value. I try to I try to protect them. I don't offer the state minimums, and
Well, you're offering them service.
Yeah,
Geico
yeah,
and the other
service.
ones sell it to somebody else.
Yeah.
I had Geico at one point, and I got in an accident. It was someplace in Georgia or somewhere.
yeah.
Just 'cause it's
It wasn't even
huge.
Geico.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? What else can I ask you? It's just like
Binders.
brain freeze. Yeah. Like that's. I think a lot of people come to me and they're like, as a realtor, and they're like, Chris, like, use me, and I'm like, I don't really handle that situation. Like, I just kind of like, you call me up unless the client actually calls me and asks me like what my opinion is. But we have to disclose our vendor list. I don't know if you guys knew that, but we have to disclose that to a client. So usually a lot of times I'll just be like, hey, Milo, like my client is really, asking me these questions. Can you go ahead and, who do you use, or point them in the right direction? So that's a lot of the stuff that I kind of do from my side to avoid legal liability, that I steered them towards a particular person, in case you guys didn't know that. So going into that stuff, we have like a bunch. I didn't share last time with some questions that came up, but this time I think I am. And it's a two-part. The first part is the difference between a pre-qualification and an actual pre-approval. A lot of times, I know back when I first started in the mortgage industry, you can get away with like a pre-qualification, which means you just pull credit. But then you get into pre-approval, and that's like a whole nother can of worms. But that's what people are looking for. Like the home sellers are looking for a pre-qualification. That person is pre-qualified, and there's nobody better to explain that than my mortgage expert.
It's funny, just even when I started, it was, hey, we just need a little piece of paper, a little pre-approval. No, it's not gonna get you anywhere. And even if it was called a pre-approval, it didn't go through underwriting. That right there in the document, that's the difference. A pre-qual is an application at 1003, and we pull credit. So based on credit, we know you can get a loan. When we go into a pre-approval, we actually have verified all your sources of income, your residency, your, what's the word I'm looking for, employment. We know you're you. And a lot of times we'll have pushed it to an initial underwrite. We do that electronically, so we know the deal's solid. So you want a pre-approval. You want to give me the documents so that I can tell you with certainty that, yes, this is your house, and to coin an old phrase, you won't fall out of escrow.
Right.
And realtors, listing agents will call lenders and say, hey, I have a pre-approval. What does it mean?
Or are they really qualified?
Well, that's the question.
Right.
Like, is this for real? Right. I had someone call me a few weeks ago. She said, there's no date. I said, yeah, I don't date them because I don't know when they're going to use them.
My question I always ask of the lender is, how tight is the deal? Because a lot of times it's like a debt-to-income ratio situation. And I'm like, okay, how tight are they? Are they like squeaking into the house, or is like they got cash? What's the situation? And that's kind of where I gauge if I'm looking at two different offers, where I'm going to go with that. And that kind of leads me into like the second part, which is going to be tax returns. I had a client contact me that they haven't filed yet because their friend is the accountant, and they can do it whenever they want, and they got an extension, but now they want to buy a house, and they know they can do their they know that they can do their accountant. They'll call them up and they'll do it within 24 hours and all this other stuff. Like, let's talk about that part, because that's the part that really, I think, screws up a lot of deals, especially if it's like a self-employed person.
Yeah, I mean, taxes are clearly the one thing that we all deal with, right? Taxes and death.
Right.
And more so when you're going into the whole process of buying a home or refinancing a home. Any of that, if your taxes aren't filed, you're screwed, because then we're chasing the return. And you've already gone into process because there's been a glitch You know, the realtor doesn't know because you didn't tell the realtor, because why would you tell the realtor? You tell me, and you don't even want to tell me that. And then it's, we can fix this, right? Yeah, maybe. I had that happen last week, actually. And with people that are self-employed, that's a whole 3 can of worms. You've got different write-off paid. I mean, I can't even tell you all the names of the forms. But the bottom line is this. If you make $150,000, did you net that, or did you write it off and you actually made $25,000, and then you're trying to buy a $300,000 house,
right,
with 5% down, and you didn't tell anybody?
Yeah, I mean, that's, I was self-employed, so you look at it and you're like, okay, cool, like I made, X amount of money, but that doesn't account my marketing, my expenditures, all my stuff that I do. So then when you get into it, it's like, well, you really didn't make that. You did, but at the end of the end, right, you expense it. So. And
W-2s obviously are easier, even if you're self-employed and you're W-2, but either way, that's what you have to know. Just because you made $150 doesn't mean you claimed it. And if you didn't claim it, probably not getting the house, not the one you want.
Right.
And, as a realtor, you know this, the listing agent calls us to find out what's going on, but the buyer's agents, buyer's agents, drive your clients to the lender first. Please don't take them to look for a house without calling your favorite lender. God, or even your not favorite, any lender, please. I mean, if it's not me, somebody. Because you're just wasting time. Sorry, everybody, that's me.
I was like, what is that?
It's LA. Apparently it's a big deal. I'll deal with it later. Yeah, I think what we're trying to show with our Ask Two Dudes series is drive your deals, drive your life, drive your business.
Right.
You have to have a network of people that are like-minded, that are going to support you, that you are willing to support without even thinking about it. And the fact that he played football, great. That's great for him. But I met him, I didn't even know. I was like, oh. But like I said, he's a great guy, and he'll be somebody I send business to now. That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
And remember, piggy banks save money. Saving money helps you buy a house.
That leads us into the question of the day. I've been trying to think about this one for a little bit here. But since we got the football theme going here today, who thinks that the trade for Cleveland Browns, when they traded down, instead of getting Carson Wentz, went with RG3? Who thinks that was a good deal? So let us know. Ask Two Dudes, hashtag Ask Two Dudes on Twitter. Please send in your questions and comments that get on the show, and we love you guys. So, Romby, how would somebody find you? If they want to find you, is there a website? Besides calling you, obviously.
Yeah, they can call me, 405-473-4960. My website is www.teambryantInsuresme.com.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Look, I've got your card. I'll find you.
I'm gonna actually.
Yeah, and actually, if you want
I'm gonna put it underneath some
You're gonna frame it
when I get home. Thanks, man. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, appreciate
Thanks,
it.
everybody. Week 4 next week.
Yep. Thank you.
Mid-America Mortgage Incorporated, NMLS 150009, is an equal opportunity lender.